Well, here we go again. Last I left it, we had a few issues, if you recall. Most of those issues were because of me and my inability to remember exactly what I was doing. However, I've corrected the issue, and here we go. So when you first start off here, you're gonna go and you're gonna get something like this. All right. Here's your game servers. All right. And then you just select your. We're gonna go with this one right here because this is the one we're gonna change up. Now, if you recall, the last time, I did not have those damn mods loaded. So what you do? The first thing you do, go to Steam Workshop, and then you go up here, and you go Channel. Download the damn workshop mod. This is your map. You need the freaking map. Then, because if that's the map that you're going to go with, the channel, you're also going to need Spawner Baku. Right here. So you install that. So now you have the map installed, and you have the Spawner Babaku installed. The reason why you want the Spawner Babaku installed is mainly because within certain maps, they'll have underground spawns or something certain or something specific for the map that you can't really spawn in naturally or regularly. So that's why you throw in a Spawner Babuku. It adds certain triggers to certain areas and allows certain things to happen that wouldn't normally happen. All right, so now let's go back over here to, let's go to File Manager. So now that you got those loaded, channel, Spawner Babuku. Let me turn these off. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. Now that you got these loaded in, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go to the channel. And if you see extras, right? Go into extras, Spawner Babuku. Open that up. These are your triggers for this particular map. There's many ways of doing this. I like to Control A, copy, close out of that. Go down here to Profiles, Spawner Babuku, or Bubaka, however you pronounce it, I'm not sure. It's a V2, so you open that one up. Control, almost hit a bunch of different buttons. Control A, delete, Control V. Now, that's going to have everything that's very specific to this particular map. Save and exit. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go back. Now, I've already done this, all right? But the only thing that I did was I did new folder, empty channel. Okay, now we're going to go into this folder. And look at that. I already messed that one up. Let's rename that to DB. Just a second. Let me double check something. Okay, yeah. Create a new folder called ENV. This is going to be all your zombie spawns, your animal spawns, environmental shit. So now you have all of this empty space. Well, let's fill that empty space up with everything else that the map requires. Okay? So what I'm going to do is upload files. You could go and drag one in at a time. This seems to be one of the most powerful things of GTX. Let's go to the channel. We'll open up that channel. Select this to here. And then open. Now, I've had Nitrado. Nitrado's a great service. And I tried another one. I can't remember the name of it. I only stayed with them for like a week because it was just my FTP site just kept losing, and you got to go from one file to another file, from one file to another file. Then you got to. It's just, man, you want to talk about chaos? Go back and forth with an FTP site. I mean, I got to be like a damn computer whiz to do that. And I'm gonna tell you, I'm really not. So, same principle applies to the DB folder. We're gonna go up here, upload, DB, diff, boom, all. And done. And then we're going to go back here, go to environment, upload, select files, boom, 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 boom. And there you go. See bear territory, cattle, fox, blah, blah, blah. And we can go in here and we can modify this stuff later. This is pretty much just how to get this thing up and running. Now, what I like to do right off the bat, before I do anything else, is now that that's in there, let's go back and do this because I've got some key information I don't necessarily want you to have. And we're going to go back into here. Just stop the server because right now it's only reading the Canaris Plus because by default it'll go to that. So now we're going to go into configuration files. Now in the configuration file setting, we're going to go to config editor. You can do it in a text, but I prefer not to. Change your name up. Change the name of the server. What is the name of the server? Well, we're going to go with Killzone. Right? And we're going to go with Carter's. I'm sorry. Carter's Chaos. And we're going to leave that. Get your server at gtxgaming.cu.uk. How you like that? Now you can add a server password. I always do when I'm doing this. Mainly because if you have problems with, you're loading in a mod or whatever, then you have to restart the server. And if you got somebody that just discovered it, they're going to get on the server. And then now you're restarting, you're not going to be looking at who's on the server. You're focused, right? You want to get that mod running. You want to get the server up and running. You want to get everything going relatively decent to where you can open it up for people to join in, or your own personal group or whatever. Well, I made that mistake a million times. A million times. And I'm going to tell you, it wasn't pleasant. I had a lot of pissed off people, and rightfully so. So, don't make the same mistake I did. All right, right here, you got message of the day, server hosted. This is going to be, anytime you open up the game, that's the first thing that's going to pop up. Server hosted by, just drop in Carter here. Now, you can go and change up your server time. You can get it to where it's modern time right now. Sometimes I do that, sometimes I don't. It doesn't really matter. Your night lighting, you can go with bright, dark, or Sakal. Sakal is really kind of cool. It's different. I mean, it's definitely different. Kind of like dusk, like all the time. It does get dark, but not really. So, but for this map, for the channel, I'm gonna go with dark because I'm gonna add a little something else to it, which we're gonna cover later. Here's where you select your map. Now you see all that stuff that we did? Now it populates. Empty channel. Bada bing, bada boom. Always remember this. CFG gameplay file. Now, I like to code a certain way. There's a lot of people. I learned it from a lot of people. And sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't. I'm not saying that I'm like the guru of code because I sure the hell am not. But I've got a killer team of people that tell me where I'm screwed up. And without them, I would just be running some stuff that just crashes constantly. I really would. So shout out goes to Striker Hitman, Yellow. Oh yeah, all you guys. Ezekiel, also known as Dickie Needles. All right. Now we got that. We got that. We got that. All right. We are good to go. Let's make sure that the server is still shut down. Okay. Well, let's go back into Steam Workshop. Now, in your, some people like doing this, some people don't. I don't know. It's really your preference. Some people just use CF tools. I don't really know how you do that, but I've been using VPP admin for so long, so I'm used to that. I'm used to VPP admin, so that's what I go with all the time. It's like my go-to admin tool. Not this one. This one right here. I don't know why it doesn't have 5 stars. It doesn't really seem like it's chaos right now, but trust me, it will become chaos because I make it chaos. It's just inevitable. So be prepared to sit there and go, what in the hell is he doing? And if you got another option, throw it in the chat. I am more than happy to hear other options. Not saying that mine is the best way. No way. And we're going to do this real time because, you know, some people think that this stuff is instant. It really isn't. You might also notice that there's no video camera on me. Like a lot of Twitch streamers and Kick streamers and YouTube streamers. Quite honestly, you don't want to see me. You want to see the product. You don't want to see me. I have a voice made for I got a face made for radio. All right, so now we're going to go down here to your file manager. In your file manager, you're going to go to profiles. Notice there's nothing here. Why? Because you first have to go up here and turn the server back on. Because it has to log the CE has to read it. All right, so now, see down here? All right, now what I like to do is come over here to sync DSA. Give it a minute, give it a minute. And then let's go here. All right, so now you are loaded in. Game, DayZ, map, channel. Here's your name. There's my IP. If you ever want to join, come on down. Great group of guys over here, I'm telling you. Need to get some more ladies in here. We got CF, we got VPP admin tools. CF comes with VPP admin tools. Then you have the channel. Now, you notice what's not here. Spawner, Bubaku. It's going to take me a minute. So this is why, when you go back here to your config files, and you go to your start pack, or I'm sorry, workshop mods, which you cannot see because of this one. Nope. This one. Alright, so workshop mods right here. All the way over here. Config editor. What that's going to do is it's going to bring this up. And you cannot see that because of... which one is it? This one? Yeah, that one. Let's bring that down to there. Alright, so now, this is your client-side mods only. And this is your server-side mods only. This is what everybody that joins your server has to get. They have to do it. I don't know why they have to do the VPP admin tools. I could possibly see the CF tools, but I don't really understand the VPP admin tools, why they need to download that, but it is what it is. I think I'm not sure if you can actually change that, and it would actually make a difference. Huh. But anyway, let's get to here. Spawner Babuku. That needs to stay server side only. You know, I'm wondering if I could add VPP admin tools to server side mod. You know, when you get into questions like that, let's do this. I normally never go into Gemini, but we're going to go into Gemini anyway. I do go into Gemini a lot for some stupid shit, okay? But as far as this, like typical questions, you know, I actually could just go into here. Can I put VPP admin tools DayZ as a server side mod only? Let's see. Yes, you can. Because the mod handles administrative actions strictly on the server you plan. Servers do not need to download or enable the mod client. You must also install a CF on your server as VPP admin tools relies on it. Okay, so let's go further. Can I also add CF to server side? Because CFX is a core underlying bridge that handles custom RPCs networking between the player and the server. Both server and the client must have. Okay. Well, I'm glad I looked that up. Thanks, y'all. What we're going to do is we're going to go here. You got to get that little tag thing. Grab that. We're going to cut that out of there. And we're going to go here. Go paste that in there. And then save and exit. Kind of makes me a little nervous to go in here and change all of that. Sometimes when you download the mods, they pretty much find their own place and throw it in there. Sorry. Man, this damn coffee, man, I'm telling you. It's not like water, but it's bean water, and I love bean water, especially when it comes from Black Rifle. Whoa, was that a plug? I also like bourbon whiskey too, so Black Rifle also comes up with my favorite coffee of all time called the bourbon coffee. All right, once again, another shameless freaking plug. All right, so now that that's taken care of, we're going to go into here. Let's go back into here. Watch this. Wait, is it stop? No. Go there. Mod CF. Maybe I might need to restart the damn thing. File manager. We'll go there. We'll go there. Oh, we'll go there and there and there and there. Let's go back into here. We're going to stop this. Give it a minute. Oh, by the way, while we're waiting here, this more button, if you open that up, you can go here to reinstall. That's going to delete everything. If you really screw up, which I've done, I can't even tell you how many times, and it'll restart the entire server. It'll delete all your mods. It'll delete all your code, everything. So if you screw up the server so bad and you screw the code up so bad that there's really no fixing it, sometimes it's just best to just go with a clean slate. this is how you do it. We're not doing that. So let's go back here. Start it over again. So now, when you go here, I would think that VPP is not on this anymore. Give it a minute. Oh, look at that. That's cool. So when somebody searches out your server, they look at these mods, right? And if you look at any of my other servers, you'll see that this thing is just boom, it just drops. I got a shitload of mods on it. Well, I didn't know about that VPP admin, so that's one mod I could take off of this, so that's pretty cool. All right, lesson learned. Okay, so now, now that this is restarted, let's go back into, go to File Manager. Go to here, into Profiles. Now you'll see VPP Admin Tools. You got to go into Permissions. Credentials. This is going to be your main, whatchamacallit, your main password for your thing. So let me do this real quick for you guys. Give me 2 seconds here. The only reason why I'm putting this in here is because I do not want to go back and change all of this because I'm kind of lazy when it comes down to that. Got me? Word. Alright, so what you're going to do is you're going to basically just take all of this and you're going to just highlight it and then just write over it. Or you could just hit delete. Boom. Okay? Now you're at 1. Now we're going to do this. Put in your password. Alright. Save and exit. Now you're going to go to Super Admins. This is where you're going to put in your Steam ID, which works out great. It says remove this text and add your Steam 64 ID. Each ID entry on the new line, no spaces between or commas. So what you're going to do now is you're going to go over to your Steam. Where's my Steam? There. Go there. Go there. You can find that really quick just by going to your account on Steam. Come up here. Highlight. Actually, I'll just do this. Highlight all of this. Delete. Control V. And there is your Super Admin. Save and exit. Now, let's go back over there real quick. I've had to do this a couple times before now. So I've got my Steam ID as 1. Okay. Now you can go ahead and you can hit enter. From there, add another one. All right. I had a buddy of mine that I gave admin rights to because we were testing on something. And it kind of works for him. Where as long as you give him your password to access VPP admin tools, now he is actually logged in as an admin as well. Or she. Don't want to, leave out the fairer race. I say fairer race, man. That's some old ass shit right there. Alright, so now we got all of that taken care of. Let's go to... Are we shut down? No, let's shut down. Now, obviously, you could do this multiple ways. You could just go into the Steam Workshop and just start dumping shit in there. I like to do one at a time. Once again, another lesson learned. After 2 years of owning a server, I picked up a little things here and there, but then there's some things that I'm just stubborn as hell with, and I have not learned from. So, if you find a different way, let me know. So the one primary thing that I like to put in here right off the bat is I like I like DayZ expansion. Now, here's where we get into the gray area. Now we could separate, right? You can go into individual things with the expansion. You can go into bundle and have literally everything. And then just turn them off as you see fit. Um, that's the easiest way to go, is the DayZ bundle. Otherwise, your server side, just a second, I will show you what I'm talking about. But drag this into this window, if it doesn't already pop into the window, which it is not. Okay. Otherwise, you see, we'll look at this and we'll go more details, no mods. Right. Okay, so here's my other channel. 22 mods. Now look, I probably do not need BPP tent fix anymore. I don't know. Earplugs, probably don't need that anymore. Nemesis Can-Am. I love this freaking MBM Can-Am. If you've seen any of my other videos, dude, I am rocking and rolling in this little thing. Let me see. I want to see if... Yeah, look. I could take that out. We already know I could take that out. Anyway, I do not have DayZ expansion in this one because there's a lot of people that don't like the AI, and I will go freaking nuts with AI, which is what Carter's Chaos is going to be. Yeah. Oh, by the way, go check out Zombie Pig's server. He's got a channel server. He's got a lot of kick-ass mods in here. Look, he's got 31 mods, but I mean, he's got a lot of cool mods in here, and they're pretty well stacked and pretty well coded in there. I went on there the other day to check it out, and I was pretty damn impressed. So go check his out. There you go. Zombie Pig, plug. In fact, let me tell him, plug. Let's go. All right, so how do you get the zombie pigs thing? Man, this is like diverting from my server because I really want y'all to get in my server, but you know, it doesn't matter, y'all. It's all about what do you like, right? So here, what you do. Here's his IP, 192.154.253.24. His port is 2491. Now, if you want to do it really quick, which I like to do it like this, I mean, you can always search for stuff like this. You can go into the filters and sit here for like, I don't know, an hour or so to try to figure out if it's going to show up. Or you could just go direct connect and type in his IP address. So you type in his IP address as 157. Where was it? I just lost it. Anyway, 157.250.202.146. Then come down here to port. Type in 2680. Bada bing, bada boom. And if you want to keep it, add to favorites. You can always unfavorite later or whatever. And I'll tell you this too, while I'm there. Do that too. Come over to mine. Sorry, just one second. All right, sorry. He was messaging me, so I wanted to make sure that I didn't ignore him. Anyway, go check him out and come check me out. Right? That's how we go. That's how we roll. We're just one big giant community. So anyway, oh, by the way, got to do a little disclaimer real quick. The music that you're hearing is actually coming from a copyright-free metal Twitch safe DMCA safe music, no copyright metal. Okay? I'm a metal freak, but there's a lot of stuff that I love that I just can't stream because, well, it's copyrighted. So here we go. If you want a link to that, I will post that and just let me know what the link. Let me know if you want that link. I'll give you that one. Or my Carter Dies in the End stream. I've made a stream playlist through that one too. I just kind of got a little bored with that. Wanted something a little different. All right, so do we go with bundle or do we go with individuals? The vehicles you will only get helicopters, and then you'll get the cars. All right, you'll get boats too, but whatever. Um, you get car keys, you get the towing. There's a lot of different features that you could use for just this. The bundle comes with this. It also comes with Hardline, and that's if you're into the whole hero bandit thing, blah blah blah, reputation system, item rarity. I'm not into that whole thing. I like the open world kind of play, so I don't really. I always turn that shit off. The navigation. Now this is where a lot of people kind of teeter on the fence. If you want to hit the M and see a map, this is what it is. Uh, when it comes down to the channel specifically, I'm not sure. That's where I'm kind of torn. It's a brand new map, right? So you're going to want to put markers in, just because it's a bigger map, but it's so broken up, and you can very easily get lost in the woods, like I have several hundred times. And when you do that, it'll get frustrating, and you'll bounce out, and you probably won't come back. That's not what I'm trying to do here. Now, I say that to say this. By default, when you load in um, the channel, you're going to get a map. That map, hold on to. Okay, because if you do not have the map, you cannot locate the map. You cannot see the terrain. Now, it doesn't really come with anything else other than an apple and I think a bandage or wraps or something like that. And I mean, server owners can always redo the loadout, which is what I do, and which I'm kind of falling on the fence of not putting in the bundle for the navigation simply because I want it. Carter's chaos, right? It's got to be retarded. It's got to have everything on it that is just. This is just insane. So what I might do instead is I might produce the map, right? But also um, for the loadout, but also produce um, a GPS. The GPS alongside with the map and maybe a compass. The GPS is going to be the no-brainer. It'll tell you exactly where you're at. But when I first started testing this on Good Cluck's test for his map, I noticed that I really needed to find a damn compass, like bad. Um, So, you know, second thought, I may not do the compass or the GPS. I might just leave it like that. And then later, I don't know. But the groups is something that could possibly be a benefit. You add the ability to create a team with your friends. You got a team HUD. The problem is if it says if combined with DayZ expansion, you can ping locations, share markers, see their location, blah blah blah. So I don't know. I don't know. If you need help to install the mod, blah blah blah. So without the navigation, the question is, does this work? It's a good freaking question, right? Okay. Well, let's find out. Let's go ahead and add it. Now let's see. It might because if it has a look, it's got two. If it, hopefully it's like DF, and it's not adding navigation to it. Let's find out. If it is adding navigation, then it just means I'm gonna have to turn some stuff off. Because I do want to have the ability to have groups um, and create teams. Oh man, look at this. Step 2 of 5. That number just jumped. Now I'm really kind of concerned. Wondering um, what do they call that? Dependent mods. Well, that's it for that coffee. On to the water. Alright. Damn chat, quiet as hell. Alright. Expansion core. Okay, so it might be doing the expansion core. It might be doing expansion license. The groups. Let's see if it's adding navigation. Chances are it's also adding DF. Um, let's see. See, now, if you're doing this on another, if you're getting a server where you have to do an FTP with the server, you got to go in and you go into your hard drive area and you bring all of that over, and then you got to sync that with this, and man, GTX, man. This is a no-brainer. It's all right here. Like, literally, it does it for you. You want to quickly find out what mods you have? You don't have to go open up a different file over here and see if it's synced over here. Let's go over here. Installed content. What the hell installed? I knew Dad's framework opened up. Okay, so we got expansion groups, expansion core, expansion book. I was thinking about putting book in anyway, so that's good. We'll work with that. All right. So now let's go back. DayZ expansion. Kind of OCD typing it in like that. You don't need to do all the caps and shit. What else do we want in there? I do not want a trader. I learned that the last time I tried to code this shit. Royal pain in the ass. For those who have a trader on your server, phew, man, big kudos. That is a headache and a half. An absolute, man, you want to talk about chaos? That is absolute chaos. Do not want missions yet, I don't think. Don't necessarily want quests. Some people love this stuff. Um, DayZ animations. Eh. See, this is stupid. Guitar animations. I mean, really? That's what you're going to drop in there? Now, I'm not using any of these vehicles, so there's no point in that. Yeah, we're not going to do any of that stuff. DayZ expansion. Now, this is just like a modified version of. It's got a lot of cool stuff, man. It really does. You know what? We're going to go ahead and add it. Even though I'm going to add another weapons mod, um, I'll tell you which ones I like. I absolutely love the M79. That is my favorite, favorite, favorite. Also the RPG-7 and the crossbow. Those are, oh man, I love those things. We're going to go ahead and add those in. Now, obviously, you don't have to set your server up like I set mine up. I mean, duh. This is just to show you the options that you have and how easy it is to do this. And you know, if you're trying to figure out if you really want to get the server, man, go down to my what you call it, my comments, my description down below. I got a GTX link. Click that, you get 10% off. Give it a whirl. Get your own server rolling and do it relatively cheaply. And also, you get a discount if you use my affiliate code. So, knock it out. All right. We got to stick with one thing at a time, right? All right. So, we got that. Blah, 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 blah. Weapons, chat. Do I want that? It, it do have the option for global chat. So, that is a possibility. Um, you know what? We'll come back to that. All right, so we're gonna go over here to here. Let's see what we got here. Okay, we got the book, we got the core, we got the groups, we got the weapons. Now the core is something that you don't necessarily. Oh shit! Sorry guys. I'll turn this stuff off again. All right. The book, you may want to. You're definitely going to want to get into the book. All right. Um, Now, when the server starts back up, I don't think I started it back up. So let's go back here just to make sure because I want it populated so you can see and follow along. Follow along, class. And if you brought candy, share it or don't. Entirely up to you. All right, so let's go back here to DZSA. Always check this. This is what's loading now. In fact, you know what? Let's do this. Let's go back here. Can I add any of these mods to server side only for DayZ? No, you cannot run these specific mods as server side only. All of DayZ expansion and devs framework mods require both server admin and players to have them installed. Well, that's fine. Oh yeah, I forgot about this, dude. They released this a while ago. Oh my god. Yeah. Okay. Well, that answers that. Just always trying to get around a system kind of thing. All right. So let's go back here. Let's kill that, kill that, kill that, kill that, kill that. So now you can see everything. Go over here to profiles. Now you're going to start seeing things. Expansion mod. Go to settings. You can go to book settings. We'll just go through this. The book settings, this is where you can create your rules. Go into party setting rules. How to, what your maximum is. Do your links. Do all your links. And then you go into general info. What's your server about? What kind of mods do you have? And maybe a description on it. Crafting, if you've got very specific crafts and how to do it. There's a lot of different things you can do here. So I like doing that one. Core settings, you won't really do anything in here. It's nothing really. Um, Damage systems. That's really, I mean, you could turn these on and off. I mean, it's up for you, up to you. Um, I'm gonna turn it on. That's how you turn it on. One. So it's 0 for off and 1 for on. Uh, yeah, because I love this shit. All right, go into log settings. You're not going to use that because that's a log. All right. I turn all of these on. That way I know what's going on, and if somebody's like complaining about a mission, like an airdrop, or somebody's complaining about something not spawning correctly, or the kill feed isn't working right, I can look through a log and find out what's happening. Monitoring, once again, just turn it on. There's a lot of different things you can add here, different coding to get very specific as to what you want to monitor. Notifications, now this is where you can go in and you can change all of this. I usually, this could actually work when it comes down to alerting your members of your normal day-to-day restarts. Okay. Um, so we're going to leave that in. You go into this notification setting, and this is where you'll have a little pop-up that'll show what's happening. Now, I always turn this off. The reason why I turn the show territory notifications off is because if you run into somebody's territory, you now know that there's a territory around, and now you're gonna start, you know, trying to track it down to where um, you can raid it. Now, a lot of servers they have specific raid times. Me, no. Do what you could do. All right. Uh, so I don't want anybody to just happen to walk into another person's uh, base base area, their territory. I want them to literally seek it out and do what you need to do to find it. Don't just happen to walk around blindly and then boom, there you go. I got lucky. That's not going to happen. Not on my servers anyway. Kill feed AI, yes. Kill feed drown, yeah, sure, why not? Let's put that down. Kill feed Discord messages. Now, I will turn that on, but you got to set up a webhook. We'll do that at another time. So really the only thing I usually turn off is going to be show territory notifications. Everything else, boom, boom, boom. All right, and you got party settings. Now I change. No, this is the wrong one. So yeah, this is it. So the max in a party is 10. You usually use the whole map for invite lists. That means that they don't need to be in front of you. You know, you could just search for them if they're like 500 kilometers away. Then you could still find them. Um, you don't have to be right next to them to add them, which usually helps. Force party. to have tags. Sure. Nah, we'll leave that off. Alright, so the only thing I changed here was use the whole map. And that is expansion in a nutshell so far. Um, Now, as far as the weapons go, what it what it does is it'll start adding it into the CE file for your spawn. And the way to get to that is you go to your MP missions channel expansion right here. All right, go to objects, which is nothing. Go to settings, safe zones. Always, always turn that off. You don't want safe zones. I mean, come on. You're in an apocalypse, man. What the hell's safe about that? But you notice the one thing that is not in here is the weapons. So what happens is it naturally spawns in. I think it's down here. No. That's just how that naturally comes in. I didn't ignore all of that. That gets ignored all the time. Expansion. Okay, right off the bat, I'm killing this. So you do this, 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 and you go all the way down here and go this. All right, that means that everything within this block and this block will be ignored. Trying to look in here, see if it actually hard coded, which I don't think that it did. Could also go into here and then go into the types file. And then we could do a search. Now this is every bit of loot that's in your map. Just search for M79. M79. Alright, that's where it went. Okay. Cool beanio daddy-o. Let's go back up here, go to search, and do 40 millimeter. Boom. That's what I'm talking about right here. Alright, so we don't have to do anything with that. If you do it like this. Now, I'm also going to show you this little thing. Boom, boom. So when you go to the expansion mod team, alright, and this is the missions for the expansion. Now they've got it broken up into different maps, but you'll also see, let's just do Chinaris for instance, this expansion CE. Now I usually put this on my server, and the reason is because of this. The events, spawnable types, and types. It's very, very, very easy to code it like that. All right, so if you're having too much of the M79, like you've got 1,000 freaking M79s, you don't have to go searching for it. You got a folder? We're gonna do that. We'll go to MP missions. Go back here. We're gonna do a new folder, and we're gonna put, what was that called again? Expansion CE. I'm going to copy that. Go back here. V. All right, so now we have expansion CE. Within that, what we're going to do is we're going to go in here and we will download. Actually, let's go back here. I think I got to download the whole damn thing. Yeah, that's fine. I could use that as kind of like a backup. Just a second. Man, I turned that off and I forgot to turn it back on. All right, downloads. All right, template. Chanars. Expansion CE. All right, so now let's go back here. The expansion CE. Let's upload from that file. Downloads. Boom. 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 Bada boom. But I'm going to tell you this. Now that we put that in there, you have got to go back into the CFG Economy Core. And when you go into the CFG Economy Core, you've got to type in this little number right. Shaw. You go right here. And you go. This is in that download. Okay, so it's all part of that download. So it's not like you're going to be like on your own kind of thing. Now, from here, what we could do is copy all of that, and it's an XML. You're writing in an XML. So what you do is you go over here to XML Validator, paste that sucker in there, validate it. Now, it's kind of looks a little punky, right? Just hit Format and Beautify. Boom, look at that shit. All right, copy. Put it back here. Delete. V. All right. So now you know. Now you can actually add a space here. That's not going to be a problem. Hell, you can add enough space right here. Actually, I think I messed that up. I can't remember if it goes before or after defaults. Yeah. 1 second. I did this on my other server. 1 second. Let's see. Okay. Okay, so it's after defaults. Okay, that's what I was thinking. All right, so what we're going to do instead is we're going to do it like this. We're going to take all of this out, cut, delete that, delete that. Come on. El Delate. There we go. I'm going to go here, paste. Double checking something real quick. Yeah. Okay. Now, let's double check that. Just making sure. I like that look better. It's a lot cleaner. Yes, sir. Okay. Now it's going to load that. But when we go in there, we got to make sure, that we're not loading in the boats and helicopters. Road hatchback green. Additional vanilla car variants. Okay, so that's vanilla car variants. Actually, no. No, 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 no. I'm going to take this. Oh. Okay. And here. Now you probably don't have to do it like this. There's probably a much easier way to do it. Like you could probably go from here and go boom, 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 boom. And then you can go all the way down here. But I think that that's going to lock you in because this ended, see? Now, what we could do is we could just turn that off. We could delete that part. And we could delete that part. Let's go back here and do this. Delete that part. Delete that part. Delete that. We delete that. That Hello Kitty thing is so gay. I don't know, some people like that stupid shit. That. 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 You don't have to do this. This is just the way that I like to keep everything organized, where if I need to fine tune something later, I know exactly where to go, and I'm not like dying to try to decipher through 1,000 lines of code to figure it out where it's at. Don't have helicopters, right? This is primarily just for like vehicles. I do like the US and the Land Rover, those expansion vehicles. Will not need that. Okay, there we go. Now we're into the optics and stuff. Miscellaneous attachments. Launchers, my baby. My other baby. Pistolas. You know what? Yeah, we'll keep that Longhorn. Just seeing if there's anything that just kind of stands out as bizarre. We'll go back and we'll fine tune this. I mean, once it starts populating on the map, it'll populate a expansion storage file, and you can always delete the entire expansion storage if you want to restart the entire loot pool or whatever. Temporary owned containers. Lifetime is not controlled by CE. This is just here to prevent it from despawn before it expires, okay? Temporary owned container. I don't really know what the temporary owned container is. Huh. We are not doing base building. So we're going to take this. I find there's too much bullshit in the expansion building. Yeah. I'm doing this only because we're moving into a completely different category. Okay. GPS bolt cutters. Okay. There's food items. We want some of this stuff. Consumables. I don't think that the spray cans are going to work for anything. Well, I think it does for the weapons. You can camo the weapons. So we'll leave that in for now. We do not have airdrop, so we're going to knock that out of here. I kind of... No, I don't think... So I think this... I think I can fill it to here. And you can still do the car covers. Yeah, I just got to take away the expansion cover. Expansion tractor. Expansion debug goat. I'm leaving that shit in. I don't know if it works, but let's see. And save and exit. But now that we do that, we got to go over here to spawnable types, right? We got to go to the vanilla tweaks. We're gonna keep that. This is all weapons. This is where we start getting into the vehicles. Red Rust, Bandit Kitty. Otherwise, this crap is just gonna slam itself all over the map, and you don't want that. Go here, go here, go here. Take that out. Covered. Covered. Okay, cool. Alright. I think I'm going to leave this in here. I think that's kind of part of it, so we'll roll with that. I got to take this stuff out. I could just take this off, but you're seeing the way my head operates as I'm doing this crap. This is how I live, man. Chaotic. There we go, back in cars. I think we're going to boats here pretty soon. Here we go. Look at that. All right, killing the boats. Now we're in the weapons, leaving all of that alone. Okay. And so we went into types, we went into spawnable types. Now let's go into events. Vanilla tweaks. Let's leave that in there. This is stuff we have to pull out. However, I'll tell you this. As these events, uh, yeah, because we don't have any kind of crashes yet. H6, Merlin, yeah, those have got to go. And vehicle utility boats has got to go. And save and exit. Now the expansion stuff has been created and fixed. Now this, admin tools is done. Expansion weapons is in. The groups, that's already that's going to be in what we just made that fix down here in profiles. Expansion core you pretty much leave alone. The book, that's going to be something that is going to take a while because you have to actually, I'll show you, but there's a lot to this book. You can go in and we're going to go into game pretty soon and we're going to do it. And we are good. So let's do this. Start the server back up. And server already started. So let's hit restart anyway. Wait for your little thing down here. I was looking away. Did it work? Okay, let's go to sync. Let's see if it worked. It worked. Okay, good. And this is all we've got so far. Okay, so now, because of that, let's open this baby up. We'll refresh this. First chaos should populate. Bada boom. And let's get in here. Go ahead and switch over to game capture. Alright. We are in the channel. See, this is what you get. You get a bandage, and you get a map, and you get the stupid glow stick. That's it. That's all you get. We're gonna redo the loadouts and all of that. We'll do that in another episode maybe. But this is what you get. Now, let's do this. Let's go to the VPP admin tools. You can always do your controls, your keybinds. This is how. Wait a minute. Where's my VPP admin tools? VPP. Oh. It's because I put it on. It's got to be. It's got to be because I put it on the server side mod. So what would be the defaults to that? And I don't know what an end is on my keyboard. I've got a 75% keyboard. I think end is the keybind for that. I don't have end. Nope, that's not it. Try control in that. Nope, same thing. I don't have end. Anyway, I'll just drop that back in for sake of this exercise. Oh, how the hell did I cut myself? Just bleed out. It's alright. Must have sat on a stone or something, or a piece of glass. That was weird. Alright. Let's go back there. Alright. Let's drag that back up here. So now, let's stop the server. Because we need to make some modifications. Go here. Nope, that's not where we want to go. We want to go here. We want to go to workshop mods. Catch VPP admin tools again. Cut that out. And I'm going to put it right behind. Oh, wait, no. I don't want to put it there. Yeah, that's fine. I want to put it right behind the channel. Alright. Now another thing is you have an option of when you're doing loadouts, you could do your own custom loadout somewhere around, you know, you could have a customs folder and different loadouts, and then when you go here, you could have, I think loadouts, no, it's not there. You create another folder called loadouts or some shit like that. But you could go in init-C. I'll tell you this, I highly recommend you do your research on this one, because if you change one line, or if like this is there, it will drop everything below it in your computer. Your server's going to crash constantly. But you can go here and you could change this out. As long as you got the class names, change it out. This is your loadout. Um, yeah. So you could do your dates. Yeah, so there's a lot of different things you could do with init-C. I'm like blah blah blah. You could add things. Player health. You know, all kinds of stuff. Yeah, we were doing that thing. And now let's restart. All right. Hit the DZSA. Bada bing, bada boom. There it is. Look, right there. VPP admin tool. So now I should be able to access that when I come back here. Restart. Did I already restart? I don't know. There we go. Alright, so now let's go to options. We'll go to controls. There we go. Okay, I don't have end, so go there because I don't necessarily want to get killed as I'm trying to figure out what's going on. Let's throw this in, and let's throw this in because when we put in AI, I want to know where they're at while I'm testing out stuff. Alright, and we'll go to here. Don't necessarily feel like dying and hearing his stomach go all the time. Now let's go here. Let's do M79. Shows we got 3 on the map. We got a minimum of 1. Let's see. Boom. Alright, and this should only spawn in unique areas in 4, so that's where this goes. So that means that our expansion is working. Let's also do off-road 2. That's the Hummer. Okay. That may be an event situation though. Nope, okay. So we'll have to go back and modify all of that stuff. Let's do boat. Well, these are going to be just vanilla boats, so let's do the camo. Alright, shows we got 2 of them right here. One's here. One's here. Let's do black boat. We got 4 of them here. All in 4. Okay. Do blue boat. Oh, we've got a good number of those. 2, 4, 6. Man, you gotta go for a swim for this one. Alright, and the orange boat. Ooh, got a good number of those. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 of them. Alright. Let's look up container. Are we doing the container keys? No, I don't think so. I like those locked containers. What is this temper? Oh, that's these things. So I guess what happens is when you, if I load you down as a fresh spawn, and sometimes if it does not end up on your body, it'll end up in the ground in front of you. That's when this thing pops up. Land container red. The type you have selected will use a slower search method. This will cause a brief server performance lag spike. No. Is that going to be here? Same thing. Why? Hmm. Huh. That's kind of strange. I've never, well, of course, I've never looked for it before either, so. Oh, this should be a shitload of them. Oh, nope. Oh, because we're looking at spawn points. Yeah. All right. So that is, let's look up sedan. Got one of them way up here. Now you want to see it? Let's go there. Ooh, man, I ended up in a tree. Let's do that. Where's the sedan? Where's the sedan? Dude, it did say the sedan was over here, right? Oh, look, there it is. Alright, let's see how we're looking. Okay, okay. No water, very, very little gas. Okay, I'm cool with that. Let's see if it's got all of its... Alright, does not have a radiator. I'm kind of cool with that too. Or as chaos, right? But it does have all the wheels, which is cool. That's Helen. You want to see Helen? Look. She's a runner. Yeah. She tried out for the Olympics for several years, and then the then the infection hit, and now she just is running just randomly. She still thinks, in her mind, she still thinks that she's trying out. Poor girl. Anyway, well, that's Helen. Bye, Helen. All right, let's go meet some of the residents here. Do you have any more residents? Yeah, look. Who's that? Oh, it's Jack. What's happening, Jack? Okay, so Jack used to be in a grunge band, okay? And you could tell because the he got the infection in his ear because he was standing too close to one of his amps, and it blew his eardrum out, and so that just opened it up for infection. And here he is. He's just kind of wandering around, doing his thing. Let's go see who this is. Who's that? Is that old man Will? That's old man Will. Look at that. I haven't seen him in a while. Okay, so Well, man, Will used to be a great hunter. I mean, a great hunter, right? So he was out in the woods one day. Here's his story. Everybody's got a story, right? He was out in the woods one day. Had his scope set right on a 10-point buck. I mean, he was ready to rock and roll. Then the mosquitoes started to come, and he swatted them away like he normally did. Well, mosquitoes carry disease, and that was him. That's him. Oh man, Will. Yeah, I tell you, kind of sad looking at all the residents and seeing what happened to them. But they all have a story. Let's see. I thought I saw Boudreaux over here. There's Boudreaux. Nope, that's not Boudreaux. Oh, that's Cecile. Yes. So she used to do all the tea parties, and she created a lot of the Chinaris pants. But there's her home. I guess she just can't stay away. Hmm. Anyway, okay. There's a little guard shed. Ooh, look at that, a pot. Ain't nothing in it. That's good. Down jacket. Yeah, well, I am kind of cold, so let's put that sucker on there. Yeah. Always hold on to the map. I don't need the glow stick. So when you're doing the map, this is what happens. Is it doesn't really show you where you are, but it gives you a layout of the land, and it gives you these coordinates right up here. That's why you want a GPS. You want a GPS and you want a compass. So let's put that back. And you know what? We got a little bit of space. Let's hold on to that pot. It doesn't really matter. I'm about to delete all of this shit anyway. All right. So we know everything spawns in. Spawns in right. Spawns in good. Um, Obviously, you're going to tweak things up here and there. So with that, I'm staring at my thing here, and I'm noticing it's a little kind of stretched. I'll have to check my output on this. It's kind of weird. Anyway, so now we'll go back, and we've got boom that. So now that's all done. I'm not doing that very well, am I? Oh well, screw it. The whole thing's getting reset anyway. So anyway, that's it. Oh, oh, let's do this so that you can see the entire screen. Give me just a second. Let me key some shit in here. Move that up. All right. So now, what you want to do is you want to stop the server and back her up. Back up the server. I don't know why it does that. I guess that's the symbol for. It's kind of strange. Copy this sucker down. I copy from here because I got a couple servers, so I want to make sure that I'm copying the right IP. And then you put that screenshot somewhere safe. And that is all she wrote, folks. Start this sucker back up. let me show you what I mean by that storage thing. Let it do its thing. Um, I do this out of habit. You know, it's not, you don't need to do that. I just do it out of habit. So let me show you the storage thing. So when you come back here to your MP missions and you go down to empty channel, this is storage. Now what the storage is going to do, you go to data. That data file will open up. This is every single thing. It's where your animals log in, is where your buildings are going to log in. So if you have some extra buildings, you know, and you want to do away with them, lock them down, what have you. You can also do that in the DayZ editor within the DZE file. Another episode. But what you could do is you can also go from here, from dynamic to your vehicles, and you can delete all of that, and that's going to restart your spawn, all your vehicles, your loot. It's basically wiping your server without wiping your server. But what I do is I just do this little number. I go here and I go boom, delete. Oh shit, server started, didn't it? Yep, because I did that. Stop the server. Here's the chaos. Yo, what's happening, man? I was just about to end. Alright, let's go back over here. It might have deleted it, who knows? Nope. So we're just going to select it. I'm going to kill it. Server's wiped. Oh, well, basic. I had a major meltdown. And a lot of it was due to my own personal mod. So the two mods that I made were, once I started retexturing different things, it kind of screwed some things up. So we're going to do away with those. I'm going to test those mods a little bit more before I dump them in. But we're working on Carter's Chaos now, also known as, in fact, let's do that. Let's go to the config. We're going to change that, and we're going to call it aka PKZ channel 02. Get your server at gtxgaming.cu.uk. Go down in the description, hit my affiliate link, get yourself a little discount. We'll turn that AKA off. We'll do that. And it's safe. But because I did that change, I kind of want to do the backup again. So let's go back to backup. Server's already shut. Let's double check it. Yep. And let's go back here. Let's delete. We're going to delete the one I saved. Wait, I got a brand new one. I'm going to go to, let's start a new. Okay. Copy that. Okay, done. Huh. Well, I mean, I could unlock it, but it's not chaotic yet. And it needs to live up to the name Carter's Chaos. I've got a whole different plan for this now. I know. This is the chaos, dude. This is why it's called Carter's Chaos. So the channel 1.0 locked. As far as I know, there's nothing wrong with that channel. Carter's Chaos, I'm going to be adding AI in here. This is going to be one that is just going to be batshit nuts. You're going to have them falling from the sky. You're going to have them all over the place. When you get in, you're going to be getting in with, no, yeah, this has been wiped for 2 weeks. The first one wasn't, but you know, as we were doing 2, we were testing a lot of stuff. When you test a lot of stuff, you break a lot of stuff. And so we now know what works and what doesn't work. So, are you back yet? How's the kid? Your boys feeling better? And you know, when I'm testing stuff, I break it. Definitely been breaking stuff, dude. But as we break it, we know it works, right? And we know it doesn't work. So the channel 1 is good. That's good to go. 20-minute order. Okay. What? Oh, wait, 20 minutes for coffee. Dude, I could make coffee, drink coffee, go make another pot. Well, another Keurig cup anyway. Speaking of that, that may not be a bad idea. So, with that said, catch y'all on the flip side. I'll catch up with you later, brother. I'm certain of it.